This is Made for More Living with Johnny Jennings, powered by eXp Realty. Online at madeformoreliving.com.
So, Johnny, is it common in a real estate transaction to ask for the appliances with the home? Like, hey, we want the washer and dryer and the refrigerator when we purchase the home. Is that common?
I wouldn't say it's common, but I wouldn't say it's uncommon. Like, it happens frequently.
Okay, so listen to this. Our friends were buying a home, and they really liked the washer and dryer and the refrigerator. They were newer, they were nice, and they were coming from an apartment, so they didn't have those, and it would save them thousands of dollars.
So when they're nicer, people tend to want them.
Yeah.
If it's an old washer, old fridge, people don't care. Yeah, they don't want to have to deal with getting rid of it.
So in their offer, they asked for the appliances, and everything was signed. The owners were good with that, the sellers. So they go to start making plans of moving in. There's the owners moving out, and guess what? They're loading that washer and dryer and refrigerator onto the moving truck.
So your friends
and my friends
saw
are
them
like,
moving?
What the heck? That's ours. What are you doing?
Oh my
and
gosh.
apparently the sellers were like, no, we didn't agree to that. What are you talking about? Just created this drama because the buyers thought the appliances came with the home, and the sellers thought, no, we never agreed to that. But obviously it's in the contract.
Interesting. So it may not have been in the contract. And so this is a really interesting point. So when we are meeting with sellers and they have nice furniture, nice fridge, nice washer and dryer, and they're like, oh yeah, and we'll give that as long as the price is right, we'll give that to the buyers. So okay, great. Let's keep that, to ourselves. We're not going to put it in the marketing, because if it's in the marketing, you have to do it. Like if you're marketing, hey, here's a paid for solar system.
Wait a second. So you, as the real estate agent, are telling the sellers that you're not going to put that in the
I say let's negotiate that.
Okay.
Let's use that as a negotiating tactic. But if you upfront put it in the marketing, like the listing description when you're on online reading about it, if it states it in there, you have to do it.
Okay.
So let's say an extreme example is, let's say the property has solar, and you say, hey, this house has solar, blah 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 blah. Technically, a case could be made that whether or not that solar system is paid off, that seller is going to have to pay off that solar system.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so
what probably happened with your friends was they may have included it in the marketing. It may have been, hey, beautiful washer, dryer, fridge, stainless steel upgrades. And their buyer's agent said, hey, great, all this is in here. It's going to be included because it's in the marketing. Like, the agent probably knew what they were doing, but the listing agent may have made a mistake and didn't communicate that to her sellers. And that's probably where the conflict happened.
I think maybe both parties were just misinformed by their agent. Then maybe it wasn't in the contract. You're right. I think there was some conversations, the
conversations. I hate
hallway
those
water cooler conversations where my friends, they talked to their agent. Maybe their agent never brought it up. Maybe it was never a discussion. Maybe they talked to their agent and say, hey, we really like that. Can you tell them we want that? And maybe they just forgot to tell them. Maybe they thought they were going to tell them, or maybe the agent was like, well, that'll be their problem.
So here's the other reason why I don't
As long as I get the home sold, who cares about the washer and dryer? Maybe they'll just forget about that.
So here's another thing.
Let me tell you what happened though.
Oh yeah.
So
play out.
the owner still took the washer and dryer and the refrigerator, and they just gave them some cash instead. So they were still unhappy. Right?
Either the seller paid cash, or the agent was like, I don't want to deal with this, and maybe they fork over some cash to put it together. But I hate. So when you're buying a house, you're buying a house. You're buying real property. You're not buying a washer and dryer. You're not buying a patio set. You're not buying a barbecue. And I hate it when that becomes part of when you start introducing personal property into the real estate transaction, it never works out. So we went from negotiating a house worth $500,000, $600,000, $800,000 to arguing over a used fridge that's probably worth $1,000. And this is going to make or break the deal. And it just blows my mind.
It's funny.
It's funny. It's funny. It's not, if you're not the one dealing with it.
It's a great point of how home buying and selling is an emotional transaction. It's so emotional. It's not common sense.
I was talking with a guy yesterday. He's like, Johnny, I'm transitioning into commercial. And I'm like, really? Why? He's like, it's all about numbers.
Yeah.
People just care about the numbers. There's no emotions involved.
I am not a psychologist. I am not a therapist.
Yeah.
I don't have a minor.
He's like, I love it. And I'm like, hey, you make a compelling argument. My favorite personal property story has to do with the fountain. So this house has been sitting on the market for maybe like 2-3 weeks. and had this beautiful fountain in the backyard. Mind you, this house backed up to a railroad, the train tracks. It was near a cemetery, so it had all these things going against it, but it had this beautiful fountain. And the property closes. The buyers did not ask for the fountain. There was nothing in the contract, nothing in the marketing description. Yes, there was a picture of it, in the shot of the backyard, but it was this beautiful, like, 3-tier fountain. And the buyers go to move in, and they're like, "Where's the fountain?" So I'm getting blown up from the buyer's agent. "Johnny, where's the fountain?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" The thing was huge.
Was it attached to the property, though? Because I hear if it's attached to the property.
Yes, it was wired. It was wired in. It was wired in.
Wow.
So it's considered wired in. It's considered part of the property. And then I get a call. I'm like, "Dude, I don't know what happened to the fountain." And so I'm trying to call my seller and say what happened to the fountain. I get a call 30 seconds later. It's the agent. He goes, "Johnny, the fountain is in the neighbor's backyard." So they sold the fountain to their neighbor. And so the buyers of this home.
Oh, the fountain was moved to the neighbors.
Yes.
Oh my
So
God.
the home sellers, rather than leave the fountain in their own backyard, they sold it to their neighbors, made an extra
my
$500, and now the people that bought the house have to stare at this fountain, which technically it's their fountain.
Yeah.
It was considered part of the property.
Yeah.
It's like removing a chandelier or removing a
Oh my gosh.
a plumbing fixture.
See, real estate never is it boring. It's always fun.
It's always exciting. And so if you want to learn more about working with us and how we can help you get a great deal on a house or sell your house for more money, expect more, get more with Made for More Realty. Just go to madeformorerealty.com.